may hold the answer. But NASA scientists disagree with that. Tonight, UPN News 13 investigates the Mars controversy. Tammy Taylor is here with the findings. Tammy.
Well, Alan, you know, NASA and independent researchers have argued over the question for years. Is there evidence of ancient ruins on Mars? We went to JPL for some answers. We also talked to a Mars researcher and former NASA advisor to Walter Cronkite, who believes the new images hold irrefutable evidence of an ancient civilization in a place called Cydonia.
That we weren't just looking at a sculpted mesa.
They have a haunting quality, a face, a cluster of complex formations. Is this proof of an ancient civilization on Mars? Is the government hiding what it knows about the area known as Cydonia? For years, independent scientists have furiously battled NASA over these images, photographed by the Voyager mission 22 years ago. And now, new images of Cydonia from the Mars Global Surveyor bring excitement, disappointment, and even more controversy.
This is architecture. It's over. This is architecture.
Richard Hoagland and other independent scientists say this complex of objects contains artificial shapes, too organized in their placement to be natural formations, that they are possibly ruins of an ancient civilization. These images offer tantalizing suggestions. On the left, an aerial photograph of the Great Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. On the right, one of the formations in Cydonia.
You can actually see that if you draw the lines between here and the crossings,
oh yeah,
that you're looking at a pyramid.
NASA has steadfastly ridiculed the idea.
They're perfectly natural. I mean, these are just ridges and valleys, gullies.
The Space Act demands in law that NASA publish results freely from various missions.
Hoagland, perhaps NASA's loudest critic, says the agency has been far from free with its data and believes it is hiding information from the public and independent researchers. But why? The answer may be in a report done by the Brookings Institution some 30 years ago, a report with an ominous warning.
What Brookings said was that the most disturbed elements of society, if we ever encountered evidence of extraterrestrials in terms of ruins or something like that, would be the scientific community itself, because they have the most rigid views of reality.
It's the scientists that can't handle it.
Exactly.
Cydonia has clearly been of great interest to the public and to independent researchers for years. But when NASA scientists sent the Global Surveyor to scan the surface of Mars, they had no intention of imaging Cydonia. That infuriated Hoagland and other researchers. Then an unforeseen adjustment in a solar panel changed Surveyor's orbit, and new high-resolution pictures of Cydonia became a possibility. The first one a bitter disappointment that only added to the angry questions about NASA and how they dispense their data.
I would bet dollars to Navy beans this image is crap compared to the real one.
Hoagland says the first new image of the face is, well, lousy, and that the problem is not the camera.
Where did the light streaking come from? That's the first question. It's just lousy data. Which, in contrast to the other pictures he's taken of other parts of Mars, which are really astonishing, is weird. That's disturbing.
Why the difference in quality? Hoagland says the image has been tampered with, so we can't see detail very well.
Technically looking at this, all that's been done is to throw most of the imaging data away and then enhance what's left to produce a very noisy image.
What we had to do was to go in and spread the contrast in an intermediate level so as to get this out of that.
At JPL, Surveyor Project scientist Dr. Arden Albee explains it in a little bit different way, but it sounds sort of similar.
And all this is going to a different exposure, if you will.
Right.
Throwing away all the dark part and lightening it up and to get this contrast out of it.
Hoagland put NASA's first new image of the face through a computer histogram program, which shows how much information is in the picture and how it is distributed. He finds that more than 60% of the data is missing. 60% of the shades of gray had been removed from the image.
The normal home PC is demonstrating what are called 256 shades of gray, from lightest to darkest.
Right.
It's 98 shades of gray.
And there are supposed to be how many?
256.
Did you have to discard information or shades of gray or anything?
No.
Because some of these folks are saying that.
So what? I mean, they can say anything they want, right?
In spite of the poor quality, Hoagland says rectified versions of the first image show a massive tetrahedron to the south of the face. It contains uniform ridges.
You can see that each of these little guys is the same width, and it's an absolutely straight line, and each one is bing, 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 bing.
From the third new image, Hoagland sees a five-sided pyramid containing a honeycomb pattern.
Then if we go down to the bottom where I've actually done a blow-up, you'll see that this structure actually has the partitions of walls and rooms without roofs. This way and this way at right angles.
Yes, you can see that.
That's all you need to see. Nature does not do this. It certainly doesn't do it in 3D.
Hoagland says these patterns in the southern part of what's known as the city are remarkable.
These are individual, again, room size, house size cavities with partitions between. You see these lines? See these little white lines?
Yes.
Then look at right angles. You have linear patterns of the lines.
Linear patterns that Hoagland says do not appear in nature.
See the shadows? These are 3D structures.
It looks really honeycomb-ish to me.
Exactly.
What else does sophisticated enhancing of the new images show? Uniform lines in an area they now call the Gila Monster. Perfectly round formations. The sun glinting off what may be geometric patterns. And an object that Hoagland says resembles a castle.
Look at the windows. Look at the regular windows. Look at the portals. Look at the straight lines. Look at the lattice work, the indentations. All stunning, regular architectural geometry of an object that's sitting on the buttress of the Giza-sized pyramid in the city of Cydonia on Mars.
Of course, you can judge for yourself. NASA released the Cydonia images without comment, but this does raise a lot of questions. The obvious thing would be to take more pictures of the area until all the questions are answered. Now, Surveyor is in an orbit that would allow it to image Cydonia every 9 days for the next 5 months, but for now, NASA has no plans to image the area again.
Both sides really bring up interesting arguments, I have to say.
You have to admit it's an interesting controversy.
And no answers just yet.
No answers yet.
Clear-cut answers.
Nope.
All right, thanks.